It says that I'm live. I sure hope so. Tommy, please tell me if you can hear me. Welcome, welcome, my crafty friends. It's Betsy at Museful Creations, and I'm hoping that my sweet husband will confirm that he can hear me. I know he's on the road, but hopefully you can hear me a-okay. It says excellent on my end. I checked all the bells and whistles. But y'all know this chica is. Oh, I can hear myself. Husband. Oh, yes, I'm live. Yeah. I did it. I did it. Okay, so welcome again, and so happy to be here. And these tags that we're going to make tonight are wicked beginner friendly. They'll have a bit of a vintage nostalgic effect, if you will. And they're super convenient for your junk journals if you're doing December daily. I am, but I'm not posting it every day. And gifts, you name it. So many possibilities with these tags. Now, before I proceed, I do want to say thank you for the 45,000 views, and it's not easy to do this every day, but those that do, kudos to you. I can literally only do 2 days a week, but it really has been a joy, and I'm super grateful and love and adore this community. So thank you for that. And there is a freebie on Ko-fi or Ko-fi Cafe for you to grab, and I cannot thank you enough for your ongoing support. So last week I had something in mind, and then I said, because I had a lot going on, and then I said, well, maybe you might want to try something different. So then I pivoted and I said, let me look at my stuff again. And that's what I do. I look at what I have in my stash, and then I kind of go with the flow, and that's how I create, because I don't like being boxed in. I hope this makes sense. And I do have a lot of stuff that I've gathered throughout the years, and it makes perfect sense to finally incorporate it into creating. So what I did first is I took some of the pages from the current kit that I have on Ko-fi, and I just backed them up, and then I made a little cut in the bottom to make a banner. Now I took it's a frame stamp, an ISC frame stamp, and I prepped the surface with the magic embossing powder. And what I want to do is show you a couple of things that I'm going to just trim this a little bit more, because I started to prep a little bit because I don't want this video to be too long. What I did is I used my Versamark stamp pad, and I used Orient Express. It's from the powder keg, and again, I don't even know if this is still around, but I've had that for a while. What I want to do, the purpose of these two frames is it's because I'm going to do two different tags. And what I want first is, I'm going to use my, I don't know the exact size of this, but I think it's almost 1.5 by 1.5 inch. And it's a tip that I like to do because I have a tough time trying to cut evenly. So I'm going to punch that out. And then what I want to do here is with my scissors, because these are sharper, is remove that excess there. Okay, just like so. And I'm going to cut this out and show you my intention. Okay. Now I thought about, because there's a little bit of warping on this because I'm using 65-pound cardstock from, I don't know, one of those value packs at the local craft store. So that will happen, but it's okay because you'll see what I plan to do next. So now that I've cut these white spots out, okay, I'll move this over like so. And then what I want to do is grab this tag, and it's just, you know, I think it's 2 inches, 2.5. Yes, 2.5 by 1.5 inches wide. So 1.5 inches by 2.5. And then what I want to do, and I love using embossing powders because it's quick and easy and it just makes your artwork pop. Now what I want to do, it's super helpful when you're using cardstock of any weight, is you want to prep it with the magic embossing bag. And I'm going to stamp this a few times. So I'm going to do that one there. And then I'm going to kind of do this on the side here. And then I want to do it one more time. Like right here. Just like so. And then I want to grab my, you can actually see, what I love about the Versamark, that you can actually see the print of the stamp, the imprint. And I'm going to use white. I don't even know if this company is around anymore. And I want to use a little tool here to hold my tag. And I'm going to remove that excess here. Like that. And I have to put this back because I know myself and I'm going to spill it all over my desk. I'm a little klutzy sometimes. You see what I mean? Hopefully. And the reason why I like the magic embossing bag, it really helps because if I didn't prep that surface, I probably would have had all that powder like scatter all over. And I like that it helps adhere. It really truly does help your embossing powder stick. And now I'm going to use my heat tool. But from what I understand, it's not too loud. And for the longest time, I was muting my video because I thought it would be too loud. So it was good to know that this is not hurting your ears. Okay. And now I'll move this over. And I want to, so I know the white affects the way my camera will record. So now I'm taking this little dauber and I'm using Tumbled Glass Distress. And what I want to do is go around the embossed image, just like so. And look how cool that is. It just makes, it's so cool. It just pops. Now, what I want to do is I want to take the center of the snowflake, this vintage Victorian kind of snowflake, if you will. I know, I think just made that up. But I want to give it a little bit of pop in the center. Is that not cool? And super easy. And then, to make it pop just a little bit more, I'm going to grab my sepia archival, which is my favorite, and just do the edges a little bit like so. Okay. Do the back like that. And put this away. And now what I want to do is let me just distress. I'm just distressing the edges a little bit because the white on the edges, they do bother me. And I'm a distress chica. Sometimes I don't, but for the most part I do. And what I want to do is grab a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to affix my frame. And what I want to do is, because again, I said earlier, this is warping a little bit, and it's because it's very thin. It's not 110. I just grabbed whatever was round in my pile to use next. I'm just putting glue around the edges because I want that space in the middle. So you're going to do the sides and the bottom, and then you're going to glue it on your piece of cardstock of choice, like so. And then I want to cover this, put it to the side, grab my paper, edger, shredder, and tone down all that white. And then what I want to do is let that dry for a little bit. Actually forgot a little spot there. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And in the meantime, I want to grab my bigger eyelet setter and kind of gauge the center. And add an eyelet, like so. So, okay. And then I've had these Dollar Tree baggies for a while. And I said, use up your stash. So I said, what a cool way, because I like to, when I'm journaling in my journals or diary or what have you, I like little spots to add things and tuck things. So I said, wouldn't it be cool And I literally thought about this last night, to take your envelope. Let me move this over. And you're going to seal the flap like so. Okay. And then you're going to take, the envelopes are 2.5 by 3.5. So you're going to take another piece of paper and you're going to add, oh, hold on. Nope. You're going to seal it. How did I think about this? You're going to seal it, then you're going to open just one side. Okay? Like so. And then you're going to add the digital. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. But I do. Like this. Just make sure it's the right direction. Oh, geez, Betsy. Oh, no. Here we go. Like this. Like that. And then what you're going to do is take your paper puncher and you're going to make a little notch. Center it as best you can. You just do a little notch like so. This is still a little wet, so I'm going to press so that it will adhere. And then what we're going to do is take a tab of choice. Okay, and you're going to put glue on both sides, like so. And then you're going to open your ATC envelope, and you're going to put this right here. Okay? And now it's still wet. So what I'm going to do to hold it in its place, I'm going to grab my buddy over here, and I'm going to add this eyelet so that it stays secure. And now what you want to do your distressing, and then grab your glue, and you're going to put glue on the top, the bottom of the envelope or the side, and then the other side, just like that. And then you're going to take this and you're going to affix to the back of your tag. Okay, just like so. And you'll have, I'm going to add this here now. And again, here you can glue all sides, but I like tuck spots, so I'm doing the same. Okay, this is going to go right here, like so, because I'm going to add an eyelet later. I'm not sure, maybe I will. And then this tag will go right in here. It's still wet, my friends, but I'm going to hold it. And this tag will go right there. So I'm going to move this guy down just a little bit more so it doesn't interfere if later I do decide that I want to add an eyelet, or maybe I want to do something else, because that's how I like to flow. I like to improvise as I go and as I'm creating. And then what's so cool about this, you can then fit a gift card, okay? Let me put it this way. Fit a gift card, okay? And you can also add a journaling spot. Is that not wicked awesome? Yes, I think it is. Is that not cool? Look how easy that was to put together. And again, oops, sorry about the white glare. Oops, stop. Come on, cooperate. There we go. Sorry. But is that not cool? The white does that, I'm sorry. So that's tag number 1, okay? Now, tag number 2 will be a little different. And I'm going to trim this one here and punch the center, as I shared earlier, with this circle. You can save those squares if you want. I don't need it, but I'm going to put this out. And then this one will have some dimensions. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we're going to figure it out, because I've never done this before. And I want to try it, because why not? Don't you agree? Let me know in the comments. So are you doing a December daily, scripture journaling, just regular journaling? What are you using this month, or continuation from last month, or something that you've been doing the entire year? That would be sweet if you could share. As I would say back in my teaching days, because sharing is caring. Okay. Come on now. One more. Coopera. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly and carefully, so I don't bend this too much, distress these white spots on the frame, porque no me gusta. I don't like it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is put this aside, and we're going to grab, actually, let's flip this over. We're going to grab this beautiful little girl using an instrument, I believe it's the flute, and I'm going to prep my surface, and then grab my Versamark. No, actually, I'm going to use, hold on. We're going to use Crimson. It's an oldie. I don't know if they make these anymore, but because I still have the re-inkers, whenever I buy an ink pad, tip, buy the re-inker. Super important. And this pad is like, oh gosh, definitely over 25 years old. And it's fresh as can be because I re-ink my pad. Okay, so we're going to stamp this sweetie right here. Okay. And then I'm going to use clear EP on this pretty young girl with her flute. And I missed a little spot there. Move this over, and I will quickly grab my embossing tool and emboss this. And I think this is good to go. Then what I want to do is I'm going to take the exact frame and kind of gauge. So I'm going to do right here and like right there. Yeah. And about there. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to eyeball it. And let me do this here. And this here. And just make sure. Put her there. And cut about here. Just like that. Okay? And then what I want to do is, before I do anything else, is this is a tip that back in 2000, Lisa, I won't say her last name, but she was a sweet, crafty friend who was on my ISC design team. And it's the first time I've ever seen anyone do that. And I like to do it from time to time because it just adds such a nice little touch to your artwork. I've seen other people do it here and there, but it's not something that a lot of people tend to do, but it is such a cool little touch. So there goes that. I'm going to use my fabric scissors to cut that there. And what I want to do now is grab this scrap of paper, and I'm going to make a little hinge. Again, I'm just eyeballing this, and this is what I have in my head. And I was like, I'm just going to go with the flow and create it, because you can. I'll do that just like that. We're going to fold it in half. And if you want to know the measurements, this is like 1 inch. And you're just going to buy, 2 inches, I think? Yeah, by 2 inches. So then what I'm going to do now is make a little hinge, like so. You put that there. And I think I want it this way. Or do I want it that way? This way. Okay. So we're going to glue this sweet, I think that's what I want to do, yeah. I want to glue this, yeah, like this. I'm going to glue all 4 corners. Like so. And adhere that to the frame, just like that. And then I'm going to take this hinge And we're going to add it here, like so. Just like that. You see that? I don't want to put all the white on the camera because then it goes wonky. Just like that. I have a tag here. I'm going to affix this tag like that. Okay. So we're going to add this. Again, I'm just winging it. Literally winging it. So I want to put this closer to here. Just like that. Okay. And then what I want to do is grab, I keep these strips next to me, and it's just newsprint paper. I cut a bunch of them, and or sometimes they're extra from other projects, and they come in wicked handy sometimes. So I'm actually going to trim a little bit, like so. And make a little fold. Doesn't matter that the edges aren't too neat because that's the joy. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then what you want to do is affix this journaling little spot right here. Okay? Just like that. Now, I know it doesn't stay down, or it pops up a little bit, but that's okay because this is going to be in my journal. So over time, it will flatten out. And then if I want to journal, I remove the paper clip, open this up, and voila, you have a nice little, because you don't want all your stuff to be exposed, correct? What you're writing, your thoughts, or whatever it might be, you want to have some privacy. And then you can, if you want, you can add a little dangle here, completely up to you. Now this next part is, again, a concoction in my head. Let's see if it will work out. You're going to take 2 of these envelopes. Let me get this out of here. You're going to take 2 of these ATC envelopes. And if you don't have these envelopes, you can absolutely make them yourself. There's a ton of freebie templates online, I'm sure of that. But I'm trying to use what I do have. And what you want to do is you're going to take your envelope, and instead of closing it all the way like we did with the first one, you're going to kind of fold it. I want to say, I don't know how to say this, but you're going to fold it from that opening to here. It's about 1/8 of an inch, or maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch. That's the best way I can explain it because, again, this is in my head. I've never done this before. And you're going to do that to both. And what you'll do, and there's a reason why, you're going to take your extras, and these are, again, just extra digital pages that I have laying around from other projects that I'm working on. And you're going to put this one on the front, okay? And then, they're actually a little bigger than the envelope. So I'm going to trim this just a tad and a tad here. Now, I need to think for a minute, because if I put that one there, I want to put it, yeah, right here. So what I'm going to do now is grab my pokey tool, and I want to poke a hole on this part here where we kind of extended the fold that I said earlier, and we're going to poke it right there. Okay, just like that. You see that? We're going to poke it just there. And we're going to do the same after we cover this side right here. And if this works, I'm definitely going to do it again because I think it's fun to just think out of the box. And I'm going to trim this a little bit, like so, and this one here, like so. And now what I want to do is use this, and I'm going to do it this way with my pencil so that I have the mark. And then I'm going to use my pokey tool and poke right through there. So again, you're not poking on this flap, you're going to poke on that inside part of the envy. And then what we're going to do now is take, where is the, let's use red. Let's use a brad. I don't know if this is going to work out, but we're going to figure it out. Now, before I put the brad, what I want to do is trim this side a little bit. And we're going to trim this side a little bit, like so. Oh, trim, just like this. Okay? And what I want to do here is I'm going to use this one, this tool a little bit. There we go. Like I said, I can't cut straight for the life of me. And now we're going to glue this flap like so, and this flap like so, and this flap as well. And now we're going to glue this back part as well. Just remember where you cut your slit. That's wicked important. Okay? And this one. Have you done this before? Let me know. I've never done this before. I've done like a funky kind of fold, but I've never done this before. And that will go right here, like so. And this one will go right here, like so. Okay? And now we're going to, they're my holes. We're going to I'm just moving this over to the side here because it's cushioned and it makes the hole a lot easier for me. So what you want to do is poke through just like so, okay? And now, yeah, there we go. You want your pockets to be to the right, or you could do it to the left. It's completely up to you. Now, what we're going to do is I want that right there. So you're going to make a little mark, and then you're going to poke it through like so. And then you're going to make sure that these guys are to the right. And you're going to grab, what happened? Where did you go? Oh my gosh. Luckily I have an extra one. Here we go. You're going to take your eyelet. You're going to put it through that hole. My fingernails. And put it through there. I'm going to put it through that one. And this one. And then you're going to open it up. Don't put too much pressure at first, I would say. And now you get to open this up like so. And that's what I had in mind. But look it, you've got cute little tuck spots for a gift card, or where's that? There's a little tag. You can put this, and it could be your journaling spot, but you've got 3 different options. You've got gift card, a journaling spot, and you've got another one right here that opens up. So this, and look it's like a swivel motion. I think that's really cool, and it's purposeful, and you've got different ideas. So I had so much fun sharing these with you tonight. Thank you for those who stopped by. Say hello in the chat, please. I would love that before I say goodbye, but if not, let me know in the comments. But like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much, and I will see you this Thursday with another fun make. Have a good evening, friends.